Hey, is this me? I can't tell.
Hey, I have an album review this time of a band that I have yet to talk about on this channel, Grand Magus, with their new album, Sword Songs. Sword Songs. This came out fucking May 13th, Nuclear Blast Records. I swear half of my CD collection is Nuclear Blast albums, but hey, that's saying something then. This is their 8th album. If you don't know them, they are just a fucking, I would call them more of a classic heavy metal band from Sweden. Their debut came out in 2001, and they're you listening to them, you can definitely tell where their influences lie. And that's very evident, for example, just diving right in the track Last One Fall. That is such an Iron Maiden intro, man. I love it. I love the drum work there. Feels very Nico from Iron Maiden, and the guitar just fucking feels like something should be just soaring, man. I love it. I think this is a good album, and I first got into these guys when they released Triumph and Power. And then I was like, wow, I really like this. And then I went back and listened to their other stuff. And I personally like Hammer of the North the best out of all their albums. But I think this is a solid choice if you were to listen to Grand Magus or to get into them. This is a good starting spot. For one, I feel this album here is a little bit more aggressive than the previous one, Triumph and Power. Some of the riffs are very, very crunchy, and you can tell right from the beginning. And I feel they got a little bit different guitar sound. They definitely have a very different drum sound, in my opinion. And right from the beginning with Freya's Choice, just completely, that riff is fucking awesome. That starts off this album, and when the drums bust in, it just punches you right in the balls, and it's nice, and it says like, hey, we ain't fucking around, man. That's a good song, a very good song. Now with Grand Magus, their lyrics are interesting. I like this type of shit, swords and fighting and fantasy and all that stuff. I know some people find it like super corny, and I don't blame you. I mean, some of the lyrics on here are a little bit corny even for me. For example, in the first single they released, Forged in Iron, Crowned in Steel, the chorus when they Viking metal, it's like, this is a little corny. It's catchy as hell, don't get me wrong, I love it. I like that chorus a lot, but the lyrics can get sometimes a little bit corny, or even in the second track, I feel they get a little corny, but it doesn't drag the album down a lot, because I feel its strengths are definitely the riffs and just the big hooks, mostly the choruses, but the riffs are super meaty, man. I love the riff. It's probably my favorite song on here is Born for Battle. I love that chorus riff, and I absolutely love that chorus. It's fucking just awesome. I love, the backing vocals, saying Born for Battle, and then how the lead vocals just kind of go over top of that. It goes together so well. That's another song when the band just busts in, it's like, this is hot. Like, that song is hot. I'm just saying. And then they can be, on the flip side, really, really heavy. Such as Master the Land is another one that just has very fucking crunchy guitars, man. I've had that riff in the chorus of that song stuck in my head all day. And that's the thing about Grand Magus. They're not technical. They are more just fucking, here's a jammin' riff. And you know, it might not be the most original thing you've ever heard, but you know what? It's damn fucking good. And that's all that really matters. Some of these riffs are just so old school. I love it. And I just love their overall sound. I think their songwriting is really good. You can tell the care that's put into everything to have a big, meaty chorus and fucking on the back of some really good riffs. And you know what? Too, we're going to throw in some fucking great solos. I love the one in Fortune, Iron Crown, and Steel. I feel it's perfect. I love the way that solo comes in right after the best part of that song, when it kind of breaks a little bit, and you know, Odin grant me golden glory. You know, like that shit is awesome. I love that song. I mean, when I first heard that, I'm like, yeah, I think this album's gonna be pretty good. And that part every time, I'm serious. Just take a drive. You know, it's springtime now. You know, take a drive, pop this in, and just crank it the fuck up. Put the windows down. This is a great driving album. Just saying, like, it's all I've been listening to ever since it came out, and I'm like, this is fucking awesome. I love it. Overall, and one thing I want to say about solos, not only are they well written, I love the very throwback, like, 80s sound that they have, man. I really, really like that. They feel very old school, much like a lot of things about this band. So overall, I think this is just a solid album. Is it going to win my album of the year? No, not by any stretch of the imagination. But it's a fun album to listen to, especially if you're more into just classic heavy metal in bands from the 80s. You know, this is a good band to listen to, and also, I mean, check out their discography too. I think they're fucking great, dude. I love it. Also, last thing we'll point out, the instrumental, track 8, Huger, I don't know. I like the tone of that, and I thought it was a nice break. But it's kind of short, and I was like, fuck, I wish this was longer, man. I really liked what they had going on there. That's a really good instrumental. So overall, solid riffs, great vocals, great songwriting, leads to a good album to me. 8 out of 10 for me for Grand Magus with Sword Songs. Check it out. Coming up, we got Destruction and we got Gore Guts. Make sure you check out the weekly breakdown. Some things, they're happening. Shit's happening. Great music's coming out.